Hey guys, Todd here with Great Escape Farms. Today I am taking some pawpaws. It is pawpaw season, and I am going to take the skin off. I'm going to extract the pulp, and I'm going to put the pulp in here, and I'm going to take the seeds and I'm going to put them in water. So the seeds I will end up stratifying, and then I will plant them. So stratifying or stratification is the process of putting them or mimicking nature and putting them through a certain period, in this case 120 days of cold weather. So the way I'm going to do that is I will take some peat moss and wet it a little, and then I will drain it out so that so that it's not dripping and soaking wet, and then I'll mix the seeds in with the peat moss, and I'll put it in a bag, and I'll put the bag in the refrigerator. And again, I'll write the date that it goes in, and 120 days later I will pull it out, and at that point I can plant the seeds. So that's what stratification is. As far as the pulp that I'm going to put in this bowl, I'm going to put it in there, mix it all together, and that I'm going to put into a bag and label it, and I'm just going to put it in the freezer, and that way I can make recipes and do stuff like that later, because this one has got quite a few soft spots on it and it's kind of overripe. But mixing it together, you can make pawpaw ice cream, pawpaw jelly, a number of different things, and it won't matter too much there. So I told you what I'm going to do. Let me get to doing it here. So the way I do this is just kind of run a knife around and basically make a line going around, and then I twist it like that and open it up. So this one has no seeds in it, so I can immediately use a spoon, and I like to get a little more pulp than that out. So I want to be careful not to take any of the skin with it. That can get people sick if you get a bunch of skin in there, especially if somebody has an allergic reaction to it or is sensitive to the skin. And that's most of it that's out here. So usually I have a plastic bag here I'll put the skins in. For right now I don't have one, so I'll just lay it right there. The seeds, you can see this one's should be easy. What I do is go on each side of the seeds there and then kind of just pop it out. And what I want to do is clean it off. As best I can anyhow. I don't have to get every single little piece off here. And once the majority of it is out here, I put it in a bowl with water. One of the key things with pawpaw with the seeds is to remember, always keep them wet. So if they dry out even for just a couple hours, you'll lose about 95% germination rate. So you want to keep them wet. So they will be in water until I stratify them, which will be in moist soil, moist peat moss. And you can also use sand, moist sand, and in some cases potting soil. But key thing is to keep them moist to keep the germination rate up. And then once you plant them, again, you'll keep it moist until they've actually germinated and they're sticking up a little bit. So that's the key to growing pawpaws there. Now, these are named varieties, the pawpaws that I have here, and it's a mix of them. I'm not quite sure what the names are. However, if you have an Allegheny and a Shenandoah, you have those two, and they cross-pollinate, you're not going to get something that's true to form to either. However, those two varieties are hybridized and cross-pollinated for their taste and for the few number of seeds. So you notice there's only 4 seeds in this. If you went in the woods and you pulled one out wild in a forest, there would be probably a dozen or more seeds in something this size. So that would be very seedy, and it would be a real pain. And I've actually had some wild ones there before that have that many seeds. So pain to deal with, and it takes a lot longer to clean them out and to eat and everything else. So we get this out. So anyhow, back to what I was telling you there. They cross-pollinate, and what you'll get is not an exact variety, but you get something similar. So there may be a few more seeds and it may taste a little different, but it should still have an improved taste and fewer seeds than what you'll find in the wild. So that's why a seedling from a selected variety or a named variety is always good to be growing them. Okay. So that is one pawpaw done. I have probably a dozen or so here to do. So let me run on and I will get that done. And actually that's probably it for this one. So the main purpose of this video is just to show you how to separate the seeds, the pulp, and my compost here, the skin. And check out my YouTube channel on Great Escape Farm. Go to YouTube, search for Great Escape Farms Paw Paw, and I actually did a couple of videos on stratifying pawpaw seeds. I did that one last year, as well as planting those seeds, and I show a couple of progress updates on those. So go ahead and check those out if you're interested in how to deal with the seeds. For now, I'm going to go ahead with the pulp and get that stuff ready, and with that, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I hope you have a great day.